Total jobs of the Australian coal industry is around about 172,000. Around about 50,000 that is dedicated coal jobs, but the balance is related jobs to the coal sector. Well, we export both metallurgical coal and thermal coal, and around about 200 million tonnes each of those different products. As mentioned, we have two types of coal: thermal coal, which is predominantly used for electricity generation. Some of that's used domestically for our own coal-fired power stations, but the majority, around about 80% of that thermal coal, is actually exported to countries throughout Asia for electricity production. More recently, that's gone into for use in so-called HELI power stations, that is high-efficiency, low-emissions power stations, which are the rate of those being built is actually increasing quite substantially throughout Asia. So our high-quality coal, thermal coal, is very much matched to the specificational requirements of those HELI power stations. Well, what's easy to measure is, in fact, the royalty payments. And we've seen in recent budgets of both Queensland and New South Wales a fairly substantial increase in royalty payments associated with coal mining, around about $5 billion from if you put both New South Wales and Queensland together, the majority being Queensland in terms of those royalty contributions. So they're starting to make a fairly big difference to state budgets, and are available for expenditure purposes for schools, hospitals, etc. So they've become an important part of the state budgets of both Queensland and New South Wales. Look, I think what we're seeing with recent studies is that coal very much has a strong future. We've just recently completed a study for thermal coal, which shows that there's a great appetite in Asia for increased consumption of coal for HELI power stations. Something like 400 million tonnes extra coal by 2030. We won't be able to supply all that because it's a very large number, but it augurs well for continued demand for high quality Australian coal. Oh, certainly it's an excellent networking event, and also provides a good platform to talk about the latest with regard to your particular sector. In our case, obviously the coal industry, and just to provide some important information regarding recent studies. So, for example, we'll be talking later today about the role of thermal coal and demand in Asia, a report we've just recently completed. So it's a good opportunity to share information.